G'day everyone. Well, if you've been following Police v Adams series, we left off on part 11 where the judge on the 21st of November decided to order us to go and surrender our cell phones, even though Judge Jane Lovell-Smith in September had no issue. What this does is this shows that the court security officer that I brought up the idea of people using their phones in court because he went and told a lady off in the public gallery for using her phone, I brought up to him about the lawyers using them and the police in the gallery using them, and he's, oh no, they're allowed. At no time did I bring up this matter or issue with the judge at all. But what this shows us is that security went and tweeted its little bird off to Jane. So this is a reading of the notes of evidence. Now, the notes of evidence are not a full transcript. They are literally just question and answers to the witnesses on the stand, i.e. notes of evidence, not a full transcript. So for the purposes of the reading, I am going to be Tony. Alright, pretty simple. And so you can distinguish me from Tony. I'm Tony. Alright, so I'm going to read him out. And this is only for the first part of the testimony by Aaron Schuster. So, like I say, with the hat, I'm Tony. Court resumes on Tuesday the 21st of November 2023 at 11:16 a.m. Mr. Bell calls Aaron Trinity Schuster.
Can you please state your full name for us?
Aaron Trinity Schuster.
And perhaps, given the uniform, what do you do for work?
I'm a senior police constable stationed at the Otho police station.
And how long have you been with the police for?
Probably 20 years.
And in July 2022, where were you stationed?
At the Auckland airport.
And perhaps generally, what was your role and or the police's role stationed at the Auckland airport?
Basically, to keep the peace at the Auckland airport. Make sure that safety and security of staff, as well as the public, as well as the Auckland airport, is kept safe.
And where were you based at the airport?
At the Auckland Airport Police Station.
And is that near a certain terminal, or where was that at the airport?
It's stationed between the Auckland Airport Terminal and also the National Terminal at the Auckland Airport.
And in terms of your understanding, as to the owners of the airport and the police, were you aware of what arrangement or authority you had as a police officer in terms of people at the airport?
Yes, so we are, I guess, an agent for the Auckland Airport, and our job is to keep the peace by dealing with trespass, dealing with arrests, dealing with anything that comes to police attention or staff or airport staff attention in regards to any criminal offending or breaches of the peace.
Just like to point out there, he wants to turn around and say yes, he's an agent for the Auckland airport. So much for impartiality of police constables, huh?
And in terms of trespass, what was your understanding of your authority as a police officer of the airport?
My understanding is that an agent for the airport, we can act on behalf of the airport to trespass people if need be.
Now, on the 16th of July 2022, you were working, correct?
That's correct.
And who were you with in terms of your fellow police officer on that day?
I was working with Senior Constable Shirley here.
And sometime that morning, were you called to the Jetstar terminal in the domestic?
Yes, around 9:30 a.m, the Auckland Airport monitoring advised us about a disorderly male at the Jetstar departure area at the Auckland domestic terminal who was filming other people there.
And did you then attend the Jetstar terminal?
Yes, both myself and Senior Constable Shirley here attended.
And did you identify the disorderly male you were informed of?
Yes, upon arrival, I saw a male filming a Jetstar staff member over another passenger.
And did you speak to the male at that point?
Upon approach, the male asked me for my identification number, as well as recording me with his phone.
Mr. Bell addresses the court. CCTV footage. Court adjourns 11:25. Court resumes 12:08 p.m. Examination continues. Mr. Bell.
Constable Schuster, right before the break, I was just about to play the video footage for you. It has been produced by consent. This version, just so you're aware, on the left-hand side of the screen is the CCTV footage from the airport, and then you can sort of see it's a split screen on the right. There's video footage that was taken by Mr. Adams, so they've just been combined together.
Well, can he see it from there? Or does he want to move to...
Well, the angle's a little bit sharp, if that's okay.
Does anyone have any objection if he just moved to that chair there? That's helpful. So, the first chair by the jug, and turn around and face it.
Constable, I will play it through, and perhaps if you could just describe what was happening from your perspective as we go through, and I can pause it at any point as well if you want to elaborate on anything. Is that all right?
That's okay, thank you.
So this should start, and is that you in the bottom left of the screen there?
That's correct.
I will just pause. Before that number you gave him, your QID, is that your police identification number, is it?
Yes, that's correct.
And that card you showed him?
It's my identification card. Police identification card.
CCTV footage continues.
Sorry, what are you saying to him there? We can hear you in the background.
Sorry, I'm just taking this all in. Can it be rewinded? I just want to understand, am I actually describing what happened while it's being played?
Yes, if you can just talk to us about this. I can pause at any point, but if you can just talk to us.
Might be easier to play a short piece, and then stop, and almost as though it's like a question, and then that's easier for Mr. Adams and Mr. Keane as well, because they will want to make a record of it. Otherwise, we don't know what I think that's the easiest way. Do you think, Mr. Bell?
Yes, I agree.
And I think they probably should be quite short breaks, almost question and answer stop.
Can I say stop? Or we can both say stop?
Well, I think you could say stop. I rely on Mr. Bell because he will be experienced with these things. But if you run into difficulty, put your hand up and I'll let him adjust it.
Yes, I will hopefully pause it at the appropriate time to talk through it.
Yes, if anyone wants to be seated in this court, please be seated, because it's not a normal courtroom. It's usually the youth court. Now, I'd just like to point out that after I told the registrar to perhaps tidy it up a little, Mr. Keane started picking up all the blank forms in the papers. And what ended up happening was I saw him touching completely blank innate forms that had nothing to do with any particular case, and I decided to yell at him. And what I did is I said, "Mr. Keane, do not touch that document." Now, clearly Mr. Keane was being a smart-ass, and why the fuck would anybody want to help me? But No, I just thought I'd shout at him. But don't worry, he'll make a complaint about it after this hearing's dealt with, and I will tell him that he misinterpreted me yelling Mr. Keane as myself directing the registrar to pick up the paperwork. But that's in future parts, if you end up watching. Okay, darlings. Moving on. Yes, if anyone wants to be seated in this court, please be seated, because it's not a normal courtroom. It's usually the youth court, so it's not...
I might be, if that's all right.
Yes, because everyone is too tall to see what's on the front of them.
Examination continues. Mr. Bell.
Constable, I might just take you back then and perhaps stop.
We might start at the beginning. Perhaps tidy it up.
CCTV footage continues.
Oh, well. No, they can't touch me. Honestly, I haven't done anything wrong. This is, no. Sorry, your QID number, mate? Your QID number? Can I get that? Yep.
Examination continues. Mr. Bell.
Yeah, so again, as you can see, upon arrival, I saw the defendant basically recording the staff member over a female passenger. I approached the defendant and he recorded me. He asked for my identification number, which I was happy to give. My QID is ASW842. I also provided him...
Just slow down, because this is being recorded, and we don't want any words to be missed. Also, Mr. Keane, who is helping Mr. Adams, is having to write things because, well, both of them might be writing things down.
Okay.
Examination continues. Mr. Bell.
So what I will do is I will play through what you've just described where you're about to see part of. So I will play that through and a little bit further and stop and get you to talk us through.
Okay.
CCTV footage continues.
That's nice, thank you. And you? QID number, identification?
Are you with these ladies?
No, I'm just asking for your identification.
You're not to be filming in here.
Is that right?
Can you turn your phone off, please?
No, I can film. It's a public
I
place.
understand. He's asked you to
This is
turn
a
it off.
public place.
No, it
Don't
isn't.
touch me,
It's
mate.
private. Turn it off.
Okay.
And so there, what have you said to him there? Or what's your intention at this point?
So, my intention was just to basically discuss what was actually happening. This was my intention at the time.
I will play it through some more.
CCTV footage continues.
I've been quite reserved, right?
Yeah.
I've been
Turn your
asking
phone
this.
off.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, come on out.
No.
Turn your phone
Okay, are you arresting me? Are you arresting me? Yep,
So
okay, we can chat here because
tell us
I
what
need to
happened.
get to Queenstown.
Tell us what
The flight
happened.
is cancelled. I need to get to Queenstown.
If you don't mind stopping, so what happened there is we were having a discussion, but the discussion is getting a little bit more out of hand. It's becoming argumentative with the defendant. He is still constantly recording, as well as not listening to any instructions that Constable Sir is giving to him.
Good, because he's not bloody obligated. CCTV footage continues.
And you are very rude.
Get
I
out
need
of
to
my
see.
face.
No, it's not in your face. No, I'm not. I'm not. Obviously, you don't watch New Zealand audits, right? Okay? You do not have the right to tell me to turn my phone off in a public place.
Because this is private.
It's not. Oh my goodness. No, it's not. No, it's not. You do not know the law. Yep. You do
So
not know
your
the
flight
law.
got cancelled
Yep.
to Queensland?
Yep. Mate.
So what's been
what-
happening? What
Okay,
solution? What-
she's just ignoring me. I said, how are we going to get down? I said, what's the reason for the cancellation, right? You are very rude. And she goes, oh, because we've got no cabin crew.
Tell me. Turn it
Hey?
off. Turn your phone
Do
off.
not. Did you see that?
Turn your phone
Did you see
off.
that?
Can you respect
Did you
the-
see that? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed. No, do not. I'm telling you, bro, do not touch me.
Stop! So, I can only describe the defendant's behaviour as provocative at the time, and yeah, and that was still because where we were standing is basically the public area of Jetstar, and it's, as you can see, there's other members of the public trying to interact with Jetstar staff. So it wasn't an appropriate place to actually have a discussion with the defendant at that place.
Just like to point out there he says it's fucking public. CCTV footage continues.
You... No, I'm not. For what? In a public place? Okay, I'm going to ring Mark. Hang on a second. I'm going to ring Mark. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Wait a second. I'm going to ring my lawyer. I am going... No, I'm not. I'm not. Do not touch me.
I will touch you. Out you
Mate,
go.
tell her, do not touch me. No. Wait.
Out you go.
Do not touch me. Do not touch me.
Out you go.
Do not touch me.
Out you go.
I'm telling you, do
I'm
not...
telling you.
You're touching me.
Get that out of my face. Get it out of my face.
No.
So, Constable here is now trespassing the defendant, and then what happens after that is basically I assist her to move the defendant away from that area.
CCTV footage continues.
Do you wish to arrest?
You're a trespasser. If you don't leave this building now, you're
Arrest me. These will get done in court. I'm telling you right now.
And so, what have you said to him there?
So, I've asked him to, supporting my colleague, I've asked him to basically move as well. Based on my memory, I've asked him just to move as well.
CCTV footage continues.
And you are very rude. I need to see. No, it's not in your face. No, I'm not. I'm not. Obviously, you don't watch New Zealand audits, right? Okay? You do not have the right to tell me to turn my phone off in a public place.
This is private.
It's not. Oh my goodness. No, it's not. No, it's not. You do not know the law. Yep. You do not know the law. Yep. Mate.
So what's been happening? What solution?
Okay. She's just ignoring me. I said, how are we going to get down? I said, what's the reason for the cancellation, right?
The defendant, as you see, is still uncooperative and argumentative with the police, and the directions given by Senior Constable here, so we had moved him to a little bit away from the public area, away from the Jetstar staff member, as well as other people waiting in the queue.
CCTV footage continues.
You are very rude. And she goes, oh, because we've got no cabin crew.
Tell me. Turn it off. Turn your phone
Do
off.
not. Did you see that? Did you see that?
Can you respect
Did you see that? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed. No, do not. I'm telling you, bro, do not touch me. You. No, I'm not. For what? In a public place.
Private property.
Okay, I'm going to ring Mark.
Out we go.
Hang on a second.
Out
I'm
we
going to
go.
ring Mark. Do
Out
not
we go.
touch me.
Out we go.
Do not touch me.
Out
Wait
we
a
go.
second. I'm going to ring my lawyer.
You were told
I am
to turn
going.
your phone
No,
off. Turn it
no,
off now.
I'm not.
Walk
I'm not.
outside.
Do not touch me.
I will touch you. Out you
Mate,
go.
tell her, do
Out
not
you
touch
go.
me. No. Wait.
Out you go.
Do not touch me. Do not touch me.
Out you go.
Do not touch me.
Out you go.
I'm telling you, do
I'm
not.
telling you.
You're touching me.
Get that out of my face. Get it out of my face.
No.
Turn it around.
Do you wish to arrest?
You're a trespasser. If you
Arrest,
don't leave
no,
this building
arrest
now,
me,
you're
arrest me.
under
These will get done in court. I'm telling you right now. You obviously do not watch Kiwi audits.
private
No,
property.
it's not. Okay, I'm ringing Mark, my lawyer.
trespassing
Hang
when
on a
you leave
second.
this
Hang on a
building
second. Listen to me.
You're under arrest for trespass.
I'm not trespassing.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay.
Put your hands behind your
No,
back.
I'm not.
Do you know what Kiwi audits is?
No, I had no idea what Kiwi Audits is at the time.
Do you know what that is now?
I do know now.
What is it?
It's just a YouTube site that I guess, yeah, it's like a YouTube site where they argue against police practice, where they have a perspective on how their clients are dealing with and gives their perspective of how things are done.
Sorry to interrupt. When you said they, who do you mean by they?
So, whoever runs the YouTube site, and when I say they, I'm talking about any clients, like the defendant, who informs whoever runs that site that this is just my view in relation to such a matter.
So, is it a YouTube profile?
That's what I understand. I don't know who the actual person that runs it, but yeah, I got it posted up on that site.
But you didn't know what it was during this?
No idea.
CCTV footage continues.
No. Okay, hang on a second.
So, Senior Constable has arrested the defendant by telling him and then placing handcuffs on the left hand of the defendant.
And we heard your evidence earlier was you had trespassed him prior to that?
Yes,
And has now subsequently been arrested for trespass?
yes.
So you will notice the defendant continues to be uncooperative with the police and argumentative. And as the video proceeds, I believe he starts resisting arrest by his actions that follows.
Sorry, hand behind your back.
No, hang on a sec. Hold the phone. Record.
behind your
Just so it's got information for Mark the other way.
Turn that off. Turn it off.
Do not touch my wife. You understand?
Son's on the phone. Do you want to talk to him?
Put your hand behind your back.
Do you know who that was?
That was the defendant's wife.
Were you aware of that at the time?
Yes, there was. I think there was some interaction at the time they had mentioned that. That was the wife. So the defendant is resisting right there. And then as a result, because there's a lot of people in the domestic terminal, we proceeded to remove him from that public area. Oop. Did I say public area?
And what do you mean by resisting exactly?
Basically, getting handcuffed behind his back and basically pushing Constable Hare around. She is a small-bodied officer.
That's being polite.
And what about in relation to you there?
In relation to me, he's basically like tightened his arms, so was moving around where we couldn't control him fully at the time. So that's why he was removed from that area.
And your actions there, what were you attempting to do there?
So just basically restrain him at that time and then make sure that things don't escalate to physical aggression where someone gets hurt.
And I guess assisting Constable here with her arrest. What were you intending to do with the defendant's arm there?
Basically, if he cooperated at the time, yeah, we were trying to get him. Usual practice is we usually try and get both hands cuffed behind his back.
And were you able to here?
No! The defendant was quite a strong man, and because he was tightening his arms and also moving around, yeah, and it wasn't an appropriate place at the time to actually do that, because if it continued, things would have got a little bit messy in that area. So yeah, we needed to, in my opinion, we needed to remove him.
CCTV footage continues.
Sorry. I'm telling you right now.
Fucking hell, Dan.
Yep, look at
Wait,
this.
fucking hell, wait there, you kids. You're taking him now.
Honestly, unlawful arrest, eh? Unlawful arrest.
Come on, guys, we're flying out.
So, as you notice, in the background, in the public area, there's a lot of people in the terminal. So that was one of my concerns of safety at that time.
CCTV footage continues.
Okay.
Unlawful arrest for what? Why? Excuse me. Ask them why they're arresting me.
Hey, look, if he speaks to his son, it will calm him down.
Ask
Please,
them why
please,
they're arresting
please.
me. Ask them why they're arresting me. Trespassing. What have I done wrong?
You were asking
By
me.
whom? By whom? Trying to get to Queenstown?
Please,
By you.
please.
Who are you? Who are you?
Please.
Who are you?
Okay,
Honestly.
honey, come on, please.
Turn that off.
Tell
Oh,
son,
I'm not
tell
turning
son
it
to
off.
ring Mark. No, don't
I
turn it off.
can't.
No,
I can't turn
don't
it off,
turn it
sorry.
So, we've taken the defendant outside the terminal and then proceeded to handcuff him there.
CCTV footage continues.
Film the police. Film the police. This is the whole reason why you film the police.
Put it behind your
You're
back.
hurting my hand. You're hurting my
Yes.
hand.
Put it behind your
You are
back.
hurting my hand.
Put it behind your back now.
No.
Hey, look, I can calm this down if
Honey,
he's just
tell Jade to
please.
ring Mark Otho King.
And so, again, the defendant continues to be argumentative and uncooperative, with police arguing his point that our actions are unlawful, and still to get him handcuffed, both hands at the back. Constable Thurley here has initiated the action, and we've proceeded to try and get him handcuffed.
And what is he doing with his arms at this point?
He's still maintaining his arms, tightening his arms, and resisting police from doing so, fully effecting the handcuffs for the arrest.
And so that's resisting the arms going behind the back?
That's correct.
CCTV footage continues.
And
Oh,
tell him what's
time.
happened.
Oh, please. Oh, no, please.
Just resisted.
No, what happened?
Here.
Sorry, just your actions there.
Yep. Again, just trying to assist the control of the defendant and also making sure that we try to achieve the goal of actually getting him fully handcuffed.
CCTV footage continues.
So now the defendant is cooperating. He's cooperative with me, and now we are proceeding to take him to the police vehicle around the corner. Constable here and I are now two up, moving him to the car.
What do you mean by two up?
So, me and her. As we're walking through the car, the defendant again physically been resisting and aggressive towards her, moving her about, not being fully cooperative, as you notice there, just pushing her around. Or pulling her around, I should say.
Bit difficult to push someone when you're fucking handcuffed.
And can you recall the conversation at this point?
Basically, I'm just trying to calm the situation down and just seek the defendant's cooperation, just to cooperate with us, which he is now doing. But he's still angry at Senior Constable here, and therefore directing all his words towards her.
And what are you doing at this point with the handcuffs?
I'm just checking, loosening the handcuffs and also interlocking them, which makes sure that the handcuffs don't get tied around the wrists.
Can you recall the conversation that's been had between him and Constable here at this point?
No, I can't.
CCTV footage continues.
And then he was placed into the police vehicle, and after that, he was taken to the Auckland Airport Police Station and placed in an interview room.
Can you recall what's being said at this point?
Sorry?
Can you recall what's being discussed at this point?
No! Anything said at that time, I wouldn't been able to remember, as it was such a long time ago.
CCTV footage continues.
What have you got there?
That looks like a box of gloves, and also some, yeah, I can only identify as a box of gloves. Just our PPE gear that we wouldn't have at the time due to the COVID reasons.
And I see you're wearing a mask then. Was that still COVID policy at this point?
Yes!
CCTV footage continues.
And what have you done there? Was that a COVID mask?
Yeah! So I think I offered him a mask to wear. I think he may have declined. That's just based on, I can't remember whether he took it or didn't take it. But one would have been offered to him.
How was he supposed to take it? His hands were handcuffed. And he's also exempt from wearing a mask, you fucking idiots. You might have learnt that if you'd actually asked before assaulting.
Is this where you've said you've gone to the airport police station?
That's correct.
And you've said he was placed in an interview room. Did he give an interview to police?
No, he maintained his silence in the interview room.
Now, the footage being produced by consent, the filming done by Mr. Adams, was that on a split screen that you saw during this footage?
On the right side.
Yes, it's sort of swapped left and right. Not the CCTV footage, the footage from his phone. You also received information that...
Yeah, so on the, I think it was the 18th, I received information that the incident that occurred had been posted up on YouTube.
Sorry, what did you say? I can't hear. Might have something to do with these tits on my head.
Sorry, Your Honour. So, I think it was around about the 18th I received information that the video or the incident that the wife of the defendant had recorded, as well as the defendant at the time, he had been posted up on YouTube. As a result, I managed to cite what was posted up on the YouTube, and I contacted DCC to ask them if they could download the video from YouTube.
Examination continues. Mr. Bell.
And that's the footage we've seen combined with the CCTV footage today.
That's come of it. I think I've seen maybe 2 or 3 versions of it, but what was given there is only part of what I saw has been recorded on YouTube. What I've seen on YouTube.
The other parts of the YouTube clips have titles and writing written on it, and whatnot. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. There was even, before police attended, there was recording where the defendant was arguing with the Jetstar staff member. He was also...
Sorry to cut you off. I will take you to the start of this footage just to show you, but I only played the second half of that one that you were involved in, but if you just wait a second.
CCTV footage played.
Right, this is going to go on YouTube, right? Yeah, you do care.
You really?
Honestly. No. I'm staying here. Right? This lady here refuses to help us get onto a flight to Queenstown. She refuses to help a Jetstar customer who's a Jetstar member to get to Queenstown, right?
I won't play it fully with you, but is that what you were just...
That's part of it. And then there's also a part where he'd also had a verbal altercation with someone in the queue, a member of the public.
And we have that footage as well, but I don't think I need to take you to...
And there was also another part of the video that's quite important as well, was his interaction with Auckland Airport security. That was another important part of what I saw on YouTube.
Yes, and that is the video. This video is to be produced by consent. Just lastly, you said the 18th. What month was that of?
July, I think it was, only a few days.
A couple of days after the incident? Thank you, Your Honour. No further questions.
Mr. Adams, if you want any part of the video to be replayed, you just have to indicate that, and that can be done. But we'll just ask the constable to return to that seat so he can see it.
Okay, thank you.
You don't have to indicate now what you might want played, because it may arise during your cross-examination. You might need things clarified.
Cross-examination. Mr. Adams. Good afternoon, Constable. How are you?
Good afternoon. Very good, thank you.
Is Auckland Airport a public place? Is that considered a public place?
There are. It's not fully a public place. So, from my view, no. Because, like, you've just got the Auckland Airport to me. There's a lot of security areas that the public cannot go into. So, from my understanding, the answer would be no.
So where the public are, it's not a public place?
So, it's how you deem it. You've got a terminal that can be opened and closed, and it's not open to members of the public 24/7. So, again, I would say no.
Could I just enter this? The court addresses, Mr. Adams, documents.
If you just say what the documents are, Constable, what the heading is, you don't have to.
So, according to this, it says offences that was taken from the New Zealand Police Intranet, where page 8 of 49 says public place includes, and it's been highlighted here.
That's enough. And what about the other document you've been handed to comment on? Has that got a heading or a description?
Yep, it's just the same. It's just a copy.
They're different. If you flip it back to the front page,
Has it got a front page that tells you what it is?
It's got a front page, yep. So the main says police instructions, part 6, behavioural offences.
Right, that's all we need.
the court addresses Mr. Adams. Photocopied documents. Cross-examination continues. Mr. Adams. According to that document, what is a public place?
What it states here, any airport within the meaning of Section 2 of the Airport Authorities Act 1966.
What you just answered regarding first off when I asked you what a public place was, if the airport was a public place, then you said...
I said no.
No, okay, but according to the police instructions that I've just handed to you, that deems an airport as a public place?
If that's what this definition covers...
Alright, okay, but your interpretation are going against your guidelines, the police instructions. You're saying it's not a public place?
If we can go into more of the Section 2 of the Airport Authorities Act, I may be able to give an answer.
Interpretation, yep. So then I have to enter that in, yep, as well. But I'll have to hand it to, okay, yep, sure. Okay, how or what was my demeanour when you approached?
So, your demeanour when I approached you, it was during maybe 5 seconds. I was okay because I was still assessing your behaviour at the time. So, it was okay at the beginning.
Well, yeah, so were you conversating?
Yes, we were talking and that.
Yep.
Short period.
Were we conversating? We weren't arguing. There was no sort of, I was aggressive, I was argumentative. Did you get that from me?
Your tone at the time was a little bit, you know, it felt like you were a little bit annoyed at something. But I was okay.
Considering the circumstances?
I was okay with it.
Considering the circumstances, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I was okay with it. As I said, I was there to assess what was happening. You've asked me for my identification number, which I have cooperated and given you.
Yep, so you conducted yourself
So you were okay at the beginning.
according to your guys' guidelines, the police instruction guidelines. You've conducted yourself to the guidelines which and you've been in police for 20 years. If you get asked for ID, did you refuse at any point? And what point would you refuse?
If it deems impractical, but to me, that time, it was practical to give it to you. And so, I was happy with that.
Was I disorderly? My behaviour, was it disorderly? When you approached me, was I...
When I approached you initially, no. But there were questions in my mind about why you were recording the staff member. And based on that information, that was said by Auckland Airport Monitoring, why you were filming other people. So, there were that information. I was still trying to paint a picture of your persona, I guess, and demeanour.
Okay, so is recording in public, is that against the law?
There are. It's not quite clear. I'm still not quite clear about the record.
Well, if you don't understand the question, you should say so.
That's why I said I'm not clear.
Yes, what the question is.
So the answer's no.
Cross-examination continues. Mr. Adams. So, your understanding you don't know if it's against the law? Or if it's unlawful?
No?
I mean, because it seems to me the main point here is like you were caught because I was recording Jetstar people. I was recording, would you say, public?
Sorry, can you rephrase?
Did you say I was recording the Jetstar lady and I was recording the public? Why yous were called?
Yes, that's the reason.
Because I was filming in public.
That was one of the reasons.
It was one of them, but you didn't see any disorderly behaviour?
Again, it depends on who's recording it. So, if you're answering from what I thought at the time,
Yep.
basically I saw you recording a Jetstar staff member over a female. That's what I saw initially.
But there was no disorderly behaviour?
You weren't acting disorderly at the time.
Okay, is it lawful to also record the police, or is it...
It's not unlawful to record police.
It's not unlawful, right?
No,
Did you see Constable here assault me?
I don't believe so.
What is your interpretation of assault?
When you apply lawful force to a person without their consent.
Without their consent. Alright, okay. Can we play that video back? I'll just find the timestamp and make it easier. About 11 minutes and 54 seconds. Mr. Bell addresses the court. Can play video. Video played.
And she goes, oh, because we've got no cabin crew. Hey? Do not. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? No, I'm not. I'm not allowed.
Cross-examination continues. Mr. Adams, would you deem that as an assault? Because I was conversating with you at the time, Was it necessary for her to lunge at me and...
Well, he can't answer that question because he's not heard it.
Oh, fair enough, yes, okay, sorry. My question was, did he see that? Cross-examination continues. Mr. Adams.
Do you wish me to answer the question?
Did you see, like, do you class that as an assault, as unconsented?
No, I don't class that as assault. I class that as a police officer, taking action to PCA. So, no.
Okay, from what point would you take that action? When I was conversating with yourself? I wasn't being argumentative then. I wasn't being disorderly. I wasn't yelling. We were in conversation. I was trying to explain to you the situation.
I can't speak on behalf of
Fair enough.
Constable here.
Okay.
I can only advise you what I've seen and what my viewpoint is.
So yeah, my question was, did you see that?
So I would still say no, because it's part of her PCA. Senior Constable here's police accumulative assessment to determine what her actions are at the time.
Okay, I'll suppose that's question B for her. Okay, thank you. Did Officer here, sorry, is it Officer Harry?
Senior Constable.
Senior Constable here appeared upset as she was being recorded.
Again, that's a question that needs to be asked to her.
But you were there. You're just not gonna? Your opinion on if she was upset or not? You couldn't tell? Or
No, it's just that.
you cannot make an assessment on how she was? You were making an assessment on me within 5 seconds we were communicating.
This is getting quite complicated for the witness to answer.
Complicated. Right, okay.
Yes. You might want to break the question up and get an answer on each piece of it.
Yes, sorry, I was just trying to make...
Yes, no, that's right. Well, you're not a lawyer. You know, you haven't had...
Yeah, I was just trying to
The rest of us are used to being in court every day.
make a point he can't make an assessment.
Yes, but he needs to follow you and you need to get an answer to the question.
Yep, fair enough. Okay, I'll slow down.
Well, slow down, yes. That's a very good idea. But also, if you just break your questions up so, you know, did you walk out of the room? Yes. What happened then? So, question, answer, you might find that if you roll it all into one, that of course, if you want to get the answer, you can ask, was she upset?
Okay then, I'll do that. Cross-examination continues. Mr. Adams. Was she upset with me recording her? Or did she appear upset?
From your observations, was she upset because I was recording her?
Alright, okay. As per the question, she phrased that well for me.
Do you want to repeat the question?
Well, from what you saw, was Constable Hare upset because of the defendant's behaviour?
I can't comment on that. It'll be, I think it needs to come from Constable here.
Unresponsive. Right, okay.
I just want to put it out there that, you know, in our roles, we operate as a team, but we also, you know, have different approaches in terms on how we deal with people. And it would probably be best that Constable here answers those type of questions.
Fair enough, yeah. But yeah, I'm just assuming in your day-to-day job, you're assessing as you go along, as you assessed me. But you cannot assess your teammate. Shouldn't you guys work in together as a team?
We are a team!
Yep, but you're not assessing on how they are. Mr. Bell addresses the court. Can't give opinion, can comment. Witness saw, heard. Yep, yeah, saw. Which he's not willing to answer on what he saw.
Well, no, he's not willing to answer. He's probably misunderstand from what you saw. Did you think, you know, it might be one way? Did you think that?
Well, from her, from Cherie's, Constable Senior Sergeant Cherie, did she seem upset with me recording?
Did you think she was upset? She appeared to be upset. Did you think she appeared to be upset?
Well, when you use the word upset, I don't think she was upset. I think from her PCA, she made the decision to...
Sorry, PCA?
Sorry, Police Cumulative Assessment. From her own point of view, so from her point of view of dealing with you may be from totally different. But to answer your question, upset? No. Maybe another reason, but I can't say upset. It's not the word.
Yep, okay, but at that point I was dealing with you. Is it common for, like I'm interacting with yourself, for then the other officer just to jump in on their own accord? Or?
So there's heaps of scenarios.
Yeah, yep, fair enough. But we're just talking about this scenario.
This specific scenario?
Yep.
If my colleague has a different police cumulative assessment to me, then she is entitled to act on her, PCA.
Yeah, it's understandable if things are escalating. I would understand that if it's escalating, for her to jump in. But things had escalated between myself and you.
Again, I can only say what I thought at the time. And yeah, initially you were okay to deal with. Okay, I cooperated with you. But things happened quite dramatically as it happened, yeah.
Dramatically. Court adjourns, 1:01 PM. Right. Part 13's gonna be interesting, isn't it, people? Part 13 is going to be a continuation from the reading of what happened when we first got Aaron on the stand. After lunch at 2:15 we come back and Tony continues to ask our buddy Aaron's sister some more questions. But the real doozy is what fucking that old Smurfette, the way she behaves on the stand. You are not going to believe it. But you'll see that in a future release. I hope you enjoy the enactment.